worried about air travel.
But you know, it was great to play against him. I know he's obviously sort of coming back into the game after a bit of time out and things like that. But obviously a legend of the cricket, you know, like having him and Jimmy Anderson at the other end, and you know the guys that were on show, just made it a really fun game to be involved in. You know, you want to come across these guys, and you know, it was just really good fun facing them, and you managed to get a few in the middle.
This is the start, isn't it? Sure, I think he might have to bowl a couple. He'll get a bit stiff. Been in that wagon for a few weeks, selling fish and chips. He's looking up here, Bumble. He's looking up. Keep waving at him from the commentary box. I don't think he's seen us. He has now. Anderson out. To the attack, it's Tom Smith. Straightest of straight drives. Yeah, 1-4 for this. Perfect shot. Changes from Horton, who was excellent in the semi-final, as the skipper has kept on asking questions of the Hampshire players and all the batsmen. He's doing the same here, just changing, rotating. Wonder how Birmingham Bears saw Flintoff's appearance. Would it distract them? Would they say we get right into this bloke? Well, he's had it. The first over has gone brilliantly for him. He might just distract him, you know. Oh, crikey, he's playing. He's going to be the star of the show. Going to talk about him. 23 for 1. Yeah, he's in good form, Porterfield. Yeah, he is. This is just width from Smith. Good yard outside of the off stump. Just throw everything at it as a batsman when you see this. And again, it's down to that small boundary. Lots of these lads now slice the ball just with an open face. Leg side this time. Somebody will have to throw that back. Yeah, just a little bit of momentum here for Birmingham. Not over from Flintoff, which you just thought grabbed the moment for Lancashire. Smith bowled one wide of the off stump and now just delivered a straight one. Real good use of the hands and the wrist to get it into that vacant area from Porterfield. Knows exactly where the field is. Off cutter. I keep wanting to say Warwickshire, and it's Birmingham Bears. Coventry Cloggers, Wolverhampton Woofers, Smethwick Smashers. Solihull Slammers. Prince does well. Good Oldham down there. 4 overs, 33 for 1. Time for a chat with Carl Brown. Carl, terrific catch. That wasn't easy. I'm talking to you, Carl. Have you got me?
Hey, Bumble, all right?
Yeah, I'm all right. I say terrific catch.
Oh, thanks a lot.
Yeah, I mean, perfect script for the big fella.
Oh, yeah, it's awesome to have him back.
I mean, he must have been nervous. He must have been nervous coming back.
You'd have thought so, but he loves a big stage.
Tell him who's he think he is, Harry Ramsden with a chip shot. Tell him he hasn't touched 80 mile an hour yet.
I'll tell him in a minute.
No, don't. Oh, is that a no ball? It's a high full toss. He's not come down yet. Yeah, no ball for height.
No, it's that full toss again. We've seen it throughout the day. Chopre just picks it up. Goes miles. The biggest boundary. Goes well back into the stands. Baseball style.
Welcome back to Edgbaston and Bears Den TV, where the good news is it's actually dry at the moment. We're still awaiting that inspection. Now, of course, some of you will be watching on our app right now. Earlier this week, when we launched it, we ran a poll to see who was going to be the leading run scorer during this Vitality Blast campaign. I do have the results. It's a tie at the top, with 23% of the votes each. It's Sam Hain and Will Rhodes. What do you make of that? 21% was Ed Pollock. Somebody who might have an opinion on that is Brian Halford, who is with me now, of course, the club journalist. Hello, Brian. Thank you for joining us. Lovely cricket weather.
It's not great at the moment, Becky, is it? But fingers crossed we'll get some.
Fingers crossed what we're going for at the moment. Now, Brian, we were just watching Finals 2014, proper glory days for the Bears. What are your memories of that day?
One of my most abiding memories, I think, is of walking around the back of the Hollies stand during the afternoon and seeing the Pope, Kermit the Frog and Rupert the Bear in a conversation, which I didn't think I'd ever see at a cricket match. But that's what 2020 Finals Day is all about, isn't it? And then, of course, the final, Chris Wokes' last over. Memorable stuff for the Bears, wasn't it? And a great day.
They were glory days. It's fair to say perhaps the last two seasons in T20 for the Bears haven't been glory days. They've been a bit of a struggle. Do you think this season's going to be different?
I think potentially, yes. I mean, there are some young players coming through, aren't there, that really could make a difference. They're time to establish themselves in the team now. They've made the entry into the first team last season, and as Paul Farbrace said the other week, this is the time to start making their own bit of history and a new era to build.
What do you think of what you've seen so far this season? I know we've had limited cricket, but what are your thoughts watching the Bears at the moment?
Well, the Bob Woodis Trophy obviously didn't go as well as planned, but the injuries have cropped up, haven't they? And hopefully Liam Norwell and Ollie Stone will be fit to play some part in the Blast campaign, which will be brilliant because they're both really exciting cricketers and potentially T20 match winners. Will Rhodes, terrific double century against Worcestershire, of course. He's adjusted really well to the captaincy. And let's just bring on this T20 campaign now, as Will said in the week. You know, this is a chance to have a tilt at glory. It's not looking too glorious at the moment, but let's hope that the Bears can make a good get out there tonight and make a start.
I'm going to put you on the spot, Brian. Who's your man to watch during this campaign?
I would say I'd go for Ed Pollock. I know some of the Bears fans think that he's an all or nothing cricketer, but that's T20 and that's his strategy and that's what he's told to go out and do. He's a great player and he can turn matches, and I think Ed Pollock could be all over this group phase.
You mentioned Will Rhodes there. Of course, he is the new captain this season. It's a difficult season for anyone to sort of come into captaincy. How do you think he's taken to it?
He's done really well so far. This is, of course, going to be very, very different. You know, the T20 is all about making things up as you go along to a degree, isn't it? Very rarely do your match plans all go. He's going to have to think on his feet. It's the first time he's captained in first team cricket in T20, of course. He's done really well in difficult circumstances in the red ball cricket. He's shouldered the captaincy well. He's scored runs, of course, so all the early signs are that he's going to make a very good captain. And of course, in the Blast, he's got really experienced guys like Bresnan and Abell and Patel around him, so there'll be plenty of advice out there for him to turn to as well.
What kind of a difference do you think it makes having Bresnan in the team then?
Massive difference, isn't it? I mean, it's great that there are some young homegrown players coming through for the Bears, and that's always the way the club wants it to be, but you can't beat a bit of experience as well. You've got Ian Bell in the batting lineup. Tim Bresnan's been there and done it, hasn't he? I think his first 13 Test matches for England. England won. I think that's almost a unique record. The guy just knows how to win and knows how to succeed, and his experience will be priceless, and his ability, of course. I mean, with bat and ball in T20, his record stats stands up.
Now, you gave us a stat then. Anyone who knows Brian knows that Brian's got stats up his sleeve. I'm going to talk about Somerset a little bit. Fingers crossed if we get play, what can we expect?
Well, Somerset are a very strong side, and the stats from their meetings with the Bears over the years in T20 show that Somerset have become very strong in recent years. The first 7 meetings between the two teams in T20, Warwickshire won. They dominated the first few years when this central group was an annual fixture. Then, of course, Somerset dropped from the Bears fixture list for a while, but they have won the last 4 completed games against the Bears. The last time the Bears beat Somerset in T20 actually was 10 years ago, although they haven't played it all of those 10 years. But that one was one to remember as well, a 1-run victory, an absolute thriller, which Jeetan Patel turned with his brilliant bowling. Well,
fingers crossed for a thriller tonight. We will, of course, keep you updated with any inspections going forward. But let's go back to 2014.
Always takes a step leg side. Chopra just goes leg side.
No more for height, so not a free hit.
Back on that length, here they go aggressive again in the field.
He must have been listening, Bumble. It's 81 miles an hour now.
Well, they're going at 10 and over, Birmingham Bears. Chopra here again, 24 from 13.
Yeah, that fielding though from Stephen Croft, he was electric in that first game. He's brilliant at backward point. So quick, low to the ground, stops everything.
Straight, just back of the length.
Well, it's a good comeback, having been hit for 6 first ball. The dot ball support field. We saw this in the first game. It was 20 of 26. Ended up with 81. 47. Likes to give himself a chance to get in.
Leg side, here comes Prince. Oh, well fielded, 37 years of age, well fielded. Run up still the same, Flintoff.
He always had the ability just to rock up in it, 50p on a length. No matter how long he'd been out injured. He's had 5 years out of the game. He's not played for 6 weeks. And look at this, he's run up straight, picking his spot in the pitch.
Good Yorker, single. Wonder how much his chips are. Do good cod, I suppose.
Haddock, £2 he was telling me.
£2 haddock.
£2 a haddock, mushy peas. Loads of chips.
Vegetable oil, a lard.
Lard.
It's a good shot, it's a 6. Great footwork and strength. 50 up after 5. again. 17 from 10.
Well, it's that shot that he's just hit Flintoff for 6. Wide, Rob Bailey. Jimmy not happy. Just gives the umpire that stare, Jimmy, doesn't he? But that 6 that Porterfield hit off the last ball of Flintoff's over, he did it on a couple of occasions in that first game. He just slices the ball.
Unlucky, Jim. Oh. Paul Horton got a great bounce here. When you're on the move and it bounces straight into your hands.
Yeah, and quick release. Just tell from Chopper he knew he was struggling. Just couldn't get the power because he was off balance.
A rare dot ball.
Well, the first semi-final of the day, Birmingham reached 57 for 1 in the 6 overs of power play. 4 balls remaining, 52 for 1.
Before the quick on the feet.
Well, the partnership's now 37 off 22 balls. Both players in good form. I think it's the fact they've got different options. You can go down the ground, you can square the wicket. Both players difficult to bowl to.
Good wrist.
Yes.
Carl Brown. Just thinking, you don't get many bowlers, quick bowlers now, in 2020 cricket, go around the wicket. Good pace from Anderson, 86.
Well, this is excellent from Birmingham. 1 more ball remaining at the power play. Terrific start. 4 4s, 3 6s.
Oh, what a drive. Beautiful shot. Well, the Moultrie power play has finished. 6 overs, 63 for 1.
It's been good stroke play from Chopra. He loves that pick up on the onside. There's the wicket. Freddie Flintoff's first ball back. Brilliant catch from Brown. And there's his celebration. And then Porterfield gets in on the act. Pick up once again from Chopra. That goes miles. And what a 6 that is.
Going to go back to spin then, Lancashire, after the power play. Croft with his second over. First one went for 5. I'm sure it'll be Stephen Perry from the Birmingham end.
What a 6 that is.
I'm going to go back to spin then, Lancashire, after the power play. combination this for the Bears, right hand, left hand. Bowled him through the gate, genuine off spinner, bit of tweak.
3 for 11 in the semi-final, and he's in the act again, Stephen Croft. Been bowling wobblers. Well, this one's just a genuine spinner, orthodox off spinner. Chopra's just trying to hit 2 square on the onside. It's a big wicket he was looking in, tremendous form. Chopra goes for 30, 64 for 2, the Bears.
What a terrific start is this. 64 for 2 off 6.2. Needed that wicket. Chopra, 30 from 17. Ball by Stephen Croft brings in Ricky Clark.
Down now.
35 in the first semi-final, Ricky Clark.
Do this over, lads. Do this over now. Go. Hard.
He's away and they're pushing for 2 here. Yeah, good running.
This is where Lancashire have been excellent throughout the whole tournament, squeezing from the power play on, getting the spinners on. Croft, Parry. There you see that. Chopra just trying to work it 2 square on the onside.
Flight this time.
Yeah, you look at the fielders, you look at extra cover, you look at mid-wicket, they're getting tight. They're in the game against the spinners, really trying to squeeze.
Spreads his fingers again for that delivery. It's a good over again, just 4 from it, 67 for 2. Waterfield 25 from 15. Ricky Clark new to the crease. 67 for 2 from 7. It will be Stephen Parry, and up here it'll be Nick Knight and Paul Allott.
Super, smashing, great.
Thanks, David. Off for a lie down now.
Pass.
Some beautiful batting from Birmingham. Been a wonderful wristiness about Chopra and Porterfield especially. And Lancashire have got the work cut out. You'll be purring, Nicholas.
It's a good start, isn't it? Nothing more than that.
Don't be so understated.
It's a battle up here, isn't there? Former Warwickshire player against a plethora of former Lancashire players.
Stephen Parry bowled well in the semi-final. Lancashire were really good in the field in the semi-final.
Come on, boys.
Trying to decide, Nick, who had the momentum going forward, whether it was the side that had had the rest or the side that had been in the field.
Catch.
Most recently.
I spoke to Dougie, didn't I, in an interview, and he said the lads had done their own thing, really. Some had gone to the pub, he said, actually, which I was concerned by. But, some had gone home, some had stayed at the ground. Actually, the last 5 years, the winner has been the winner of the first semi-final. So if that 4 out the last 5. So it just gives you perhaps an indication that you just got a little more time to get yourself settled. I thought it was a good decision at the toss as well. Easy in a big game like this, in a 2020 game, to say, now we'll have a bowl first, see what sort of score we need to chase down. I thought it was a good decision. Have a bat first, put runs on the board and put the opposition under pressure.
From a couple of perspectives, I think Lancashire wanted to bat first. They've been winning games by... sorry, I thought Lancashire wanted to bat first. They've been winning games by batting first and then defending really well with their fielding and tight bowling. They have to do it the other way around if they're going to win today, and Birmingham got off to a really good start.
Hello and good evening. Welcome back to Edgbaston and Bears Den TV, where the rain is on and off at the moment, and it's now got a bit windy. Really pleasant cricket weather out here. But fingers crossed, we're going to have the latest update from the inspection very, very shortly. We're still waiting on the umpires. Now, we've got our own Bears Den here. We want to see what yours are looking like. It's really, really easy to get involved with us. All you have to do is use the hashtag YouBears and share it with us on social media, or using the app, which is free to download on iOS or Android. Just put it on our photo wall, and we want to see some of your pictures, so do keep them coming our way. We know that you're enjoying being in your Bears dens. It's certainly probably a lot warmer than it is out here. I'm joined with Bears legend Tim Ambrose. Hello.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm very good, thanks. Thanks for having me.
It's a bit nippy out here, isn't it?
It is quite cold. I'm trying to keep my teeth from chattering together.
So we've been looking back at 2014. Take me back. Give me your memories of that day.
Oh, what a fantastic day. I'm sure anyone who was there would have thoroughly enjoyed it. I know I did. Just watching it now, I know I was pretty much a spectator like everyone else that day. I didn't do a lot. I sort of stood behind the stumps, maybe caught 1 or 2 balls, but it was great viewing. It was a fantastic day and a fantastic night, one that lives long in the memory here, so it's always good to watch.
When you sort of have those memories and you've got a recollection of that day, how much more does it give you to take out onto the pitch when you're playing a T20 match?
Yeah, it's great to have those sorts of things behind you, and it helps that, you know, we have finals day here at Edgbaston. It sort of makes this a very special place, and when you have days like that here, as you say, it keeps giving you confidence. But you know, we've had days here with full crowds like that, where everyone's really into it, and you have a great result, and you know, it always makes this place a little bit more special every time you show up.
It's a little bit different tonight, obviously, because there's no one here, and on top of that, we are struggling with the weather. You've just been down in the dressing room. What's the mood like in there?
Quite relaxed at the moment, as you can tell. It's not looking overly likely that anything will happen too soon. But I would say calmly alert down there. They're quite rugged up and watching a bit of the Pakistan-England T20 that's on at the moment as well. So they're, as I say, quite rugged up and trying to keep themselves moving, but not get cold.
When you're sort of sitting down there in that environment and you're all together and you want to be out there, but you're not getting out there, what sort of things do you have to talk about? Are you talking about the game? Are you strategizing, that kind of thing? Yeah,
it's on and off. There's a lot of sort of iPads around with a lot of footage of players from this game coming up, and also for the rest of the competition. So guys will always be sort of, you know, touching up on their homework and making sure they know what's going on. Other guys will have conversations in different areas, and then you also have to take a bit of time away from it, and sort of, you know, you can't be concentrating too hard for too long when you know you're going to have to switch on at some stage. So you also have to take a bit of time to relax, and some of the guys are doing that. But the coffee machine's getting quite a hit, so it's it probably needs another fill up now. So the lads they're trying to stay alert as much as they can, but as I say, not, you know, leave a bit of energy in the tank as well.
There's someone in that dressing room you know very well. His final season, he's come back in, Jeetan Patel. Your thoughts on Jeets going into his final season with the Bears?
It's hard to put into words what he's done at the club and what he means to the club and what the club means to him as well, I know. So it's great to have him back, great to have him around the squad, and it'll be great to see him out there playing. I know he's as disappointed as anyone at the moment that he can't get out there and play. He's been waiting as much as everyone else has. So it'll be great to see how he goes this year, and I'm sure he'll enjoy it. That'd be my answer. I don't know what Brian said, but that's what I'm hopefully not the same.
No, we've got two different answers. I think, we're hoping for some good innings from Adam Hose, but I think we're just hoping for an innings full stop at the moment. We are still waiting for that inspection. While we wait, let's go back to 2014.
Harry's first over goes for 6, 73 for 2. Let's go and see Isha.
Yes, I'm joined by Ian Bell. Now, Ian, of all the people you could have got out to, Andrew Flintoff, first ball of his spell.
Yeah, I was trying to hit it for 6, but it's nice to give Freddie one early, isn't it? But I was trying to do what I did first innings in the first game, and that's 2020, I suppose.
You're just trying to remind him how hard this game is.
Oh, exactly, but it's good to see Fred back on a cricket field, isn't it? So, yeah, the game's teed up really nicely now.
Did he just stick in the wicket, or were you caught in two minds?
I don't know. I mean, Jimmy obviously knows this wicket quite well. The internationals, you can bowl a lot of cross seamers. You know, sometimes it hits the shiny side, skids on, and if it hits the seam, it can grip. So, generally, as a trade for Edgbaston, as the game goes on, it starts to stick in and churn up a little bit. So.
Thanks for your time, Ian.
Ian Bell there. Was that? There's a little bit of bravado trying to hit Fred back over his head, do you think?
I reckon
he'll be sitting there regretting that decision, won't he? Yeah, I reckon. There was only one winner, wasn't there?
It just wasn't the length of the hit, was it? There must have been a little bit of predetermined, I think. What a story, though. I mean, I think all of us were next door in this studio saying he's going to get a wicket first ball. It's bound to happen. I don't think we quite thought it would happen like that, but... How many times we've seen the celebration as well? He just stands in the middle of the pitch.
I thought it was just a touch muted, this one, actually. Didn't have quite the same bravado about it as 5 years ago.
That's the oh, yes. Now, was there any connection with the bat that may have just saved him?
Well, it's a good decision if there was some bat in it, because it looked as though it was going straight on. Oh yeah, double hit. Just a thin inside edge. But it's that wobble ball that Croft has developed. It's not a spinner. He flicks it out of the front of the hand. Nine gone, 76 for 2. Yeah, it's a ball that he's been developing over this year, really. It's not an off spinner, it's floater or flicked out of the front of the hand. And it very nearly worked. Stephen Parry starting his second over. That's the one. It's bowled a bit like a seamer, sort of flicked out of the front of the hand. Very nearly worked.
.170's competitive, I think, isn't it? Batting first in final. What's that? Best part of 90 or 95 run. Then get that in what? Best part of 11 overs. I think they'll be happy.
Current rate gets them to 167. You can see that. Oh, there was a little bit of bat. I think it hit Butler more than anything else. It couldn't expect the keeper to catch that.
170's competitive, I think, isn't it? Batting first in final. What's that? Best part of 90.
Likes to come down the track, Ricky Clark. Porterfield wanted to come back for 2. It's good fielding. Stephen Croft. Croft's played 102 consecutive T20 games for Lancashire. Oh, turn and beaten. Leg stump and the keeper, and will run away. Oh, leg binds, just a flick of the pad on the way through.
I think we're seeing just a little bit more turn now. Just a little bit bit turned there. We haven't seen much turn throughout the day. Remember, there's been some heavy showers come across the ground. That's kept the moisture in the surface. But generally here, of a long day, the wickets tend to dry out.
Bowled him round his legs. Bowled him round his legs. Parry with a little bit of turn there. So Porterfield going for another sweep. Has been cleaned up. He's gone for 31.
And it was the line as well. The line he'd have wanted, Porterfield. Yeah, there's a bit more turn as well from Parry. But it should be turn that the left-hander would enjoy. The extra bounce, I think, that does for Porterfield. And continue to pick up wickets. So Birmingham are going pretty well in terms of run rate. But now have lost another wicket. 3 down now. Porterfield 31. Birmingham 84 for 3.
Birmingham 84 for 3. Laurie Evans with a batting index of 162 is the new batsman. Not on strike, but will be now after that single from Ricky Clark.
Birmingham Becks.
He's a big mate of yours now, isn't he?
No, come on.
Here we go.
Steady.
Stephen Parry over the wicket, a little bit of pad and onto leg stump from the umpire camera.
I was at a stage in my career where I had one part of my game which I was extremely good at, and that was when the time was right to start, going, if you like. Yeah. I was as good as I felt I was as good as most, and I worked very hard that winter on my range hitting, my scoop shots, I just worked very hard. The bit I struggled with was the start. I was never a good starter, and so I do remember, taking my time, but I kept looking at the scoreboard, and I said, look, my job is to, be here for the last 5-6 overs. So, that's fine. If there's a few dot balls, that's fine. We're in a good position. We had a good start. So I sort of knew we were in a good position, and I wasn't too worried. And then I think the whole way through that year, because I had sort of quite a good year, I had a few games where I had man of the match performances, and I just always remember putting it down to, once you feel that it's the right time and you pick your bowler, then for it. And weirdly, that bowler was Jimmy Anderson. I just remember I was thinking, right, I'm gonna and why it was him, but I just felt like the time was right to go. I felt like the wicket was a good one, and we needed a decent score. So yeah, I think that was, I just felt like that was it. It was go time. I'd seen enough balls, and that was the bit of my game that I felt I was very good at. So, there was no, it was like now or never sort of thing. It was like kitchen sink time.
Semi-final. Remember, he dislocated his finger, Ambrose, as well.
Oh, get it!
So it may well be that WARKS will come in ahead.
There is WARKS with the pads on. Too short. Pulled away and finds the boundary. It's a good shot, powerful shot from Ricky Clark.
A little bit more turn in the surface, but not from that length. Just dragged down this time. Ricky Clark, who's been in pretty good form throughout the season, won't miss out on anything that short.
This is one Achilles heel, Stephen Parry. He down short occasionally and got away with that one because Clark was coming down the track at him. Oh, picked that one up and flicked it away over the head of mid-wicket for 6. Another wristy shot.
Well, that is a good shot against whatever turn there may be. This is never an easy shot to play. Full of power. It's just full enough. Just full enough to get underneath the ball.
Single brings up the 100. Really good platform now, this. Best part of 12 overs gone, but into 3 figures. Step that run rate up to 10 and over, they'll get over 180.